So who would have thought it would take a neighbor's dog messing with our stuff and pooping on our property to actually have us accomplish this goal? But now this goal is accomplished. Alright guys, Papa Pepper, the Abundant Harvest Homestead, back once again. Today I'm working on my defense because behind me, that's not my poop. Man, got neighbors. Our neighbors, much like us, have dogs. Our dogs, there's one behind me. Our dogs are not always on our property. We like them to be every once in a while. One will escape, jump the fence, stuff like that. But for the most part, our dogs are on our property, and they're either on a leash at times, or they're in our pastures. And it's not always the case with other people's animals. Not frequently as much as we used to, but often we get visits from other dogs. This morning there was one down in our land pooping by our driveway, and then it knocked over a bucket where I was taking care of a deer hide, a deer skin. I like using things like that. If we can use the whole animal that we harvest, it's better in my mind. So I'm gonna probably work on a project with the kids where we make our own drums from the hides. But today I've got to fix something here. Right here in the middle of this thing, I want to put up our gate. I've been talking about having a fence come out across here right behind the meter and just have a gate. Today, you okay? Today's the day we're going to do it. So I've got most of the resources. I'll still have to gather a few. So I've got a couple cattle panels, I think, laying right over there. Railroad tie here, the spare gate up there. T-posts, stuff like that. I'm going to gather everything up, and then we're just going to run one across here. So that way, when you pull into our property, there'll be a nice big open turnaround area. I mean, even somebody with a trailer could pull up in here, loop around, and loop right back out and head on down the road. Nothing wrong with that. I may do that sometimes, but then farther up, right behind that, we're going to have a gate. We're also working on trying to clean up and organize and tidy up. Things, aren't exactly all beautiful around here, but we'll get there, maybe-ish. So I'm going to also look at this fence here, because when they brought in my trailer, they just pushed a whole pile of brush into the fence, shoved it kind of out of the way, and I may need to move that first. I'll show you guys that a little closer. So I had a lot of things. The guy said he could bring the trailer, the mobile home, right in here. I asked him to check, and then he's like, oh, you've changed it all. So he had been by way earlier in life, months earlier, and said, oh, this was all different then. I'm like, well, I just talked to you. You said it was fine. So we actually took down some of this fencing and brought it in that way, but I wasn't here at the time, and they just shoved all of this into my fence. And I haven't really dug my way out of it yet. So you can see it's all smashed up, bent up. There's a hog panel trapped in there. All this cattle panel's bent. This whole pile of brush. So I'm thinking it's time to get this pile of brush out of here. And I may just simply grab it from here and toss it there for now. Because right across here is where we want to run that line. Actually, it's straight to there. We'll see. So I don't even know how much time has passed, but it always seems that projects turn into more than you kind of expect, so I just try to expect them to be a lot. Check this out though. Okay, at the moment, that whole pile of brush is gone. A lot of it got moved there. It was the simplest and easiest thing for me to do at the moment, and a lot of it's breaking down too. In fact, that's 7 buckets of, it's still breaking down, but a lot of it's going to be really, really good topsoil. I also pulled out 8 buckets of smaller rocks, which will be used in our rock pillar fencing, which is a job that's going to go on probably for another year or two before we're done. And then the larger rocks I put here because I'm going to run a line of rocks on each side of the fence just to keep dogs and stuff from digging out. So now I can try to straighten out that fence. Eventually, all that pile of wood chips will be run through here. We'll use it as soil building stuff. But here you can get a better look at what actually happened. Yeah, that's pretty wavy, pretty smashed up. So I think I'm going to try to straighten that fence out. And then also, everything between these 2 poles is probably getting taken out of here. All these little scrub ones, some of them have been cut off before and they're growing back. Some of the oaks. Looks like there's a persimmon in there. I've got plenty of other persimmons. What is that? It almost looks like a sassafras. Anyway, I'm going to remove those probably and give myself some work area and try to run maybe from that post there across to that post there. I'll get a measurement here, see what we're actually dealing with, and then figure out using these cattle panels, which I think are 16 feet. I'll figure out how many of those I need plus the gate. And we'll cut across here. But it's looking a little nicer. And then if you look here too on this side of the fence, where there's going to be a fence, a lot of stuff's got to get cleaned up and dealt with. And we're in a process of organizing, condensing, putting places for everything to be. So hopefully it won't be too long and this will be more presentable. We'll get there, Lord willing. So that looks a lot better now without any of those trees. Give me a little more free space to work with. Over here, because of the change of the ground, this one was actually an 8-foot handy panel, not a full cattle panel. But this one here was so warped. I mean, that's it standing just up as it is. And it is all warped because it had gotten smashed into before. I just tried to straighten it out a bit. So I was going to reinforce all these poles because that doesn't really work. And then I was thinking, well, I ought to just put this gate on right as well. So I've got 2 railroad ties over there. One's going to be for the main gate heading in. One's going to be for the gate heading in here to our senior pasture. And got the one already hooked up for the associate pasture over there. We'll have to get here. So I think I'm going to dig this hole. The water line heading right here down to that spigot. But digging over here should be fine. So I'm going to lay it out, figure out where it should be. And this one's mostly just going to swing in. Eventually I may do the groundwork to remove some of this and have it go both ways. But even with this whole fence, I can't just bulldoze everything flat and then put in my fence. That doesn't work for me as far as time, resources, investment, all that. So I'll do what I can with what I got and make it work. Let's see how this goes. But as always, I'm optimistic, I think. So, progress. Anyway, forgot how heavy those things were. Maybe I'm just out of shape. Here's my hole. It's not as deep as I would like it to be. It's not as deep as that one there. But ran into a massive rock on this side. All these rocks are coming out of there. Some of those were larger ones. I've just been busting up as I go. Try to get a little bit deeper and then try to put it in. And we'll see. What do you think, child? Can I do it?
Yes.
How old are you now?
5.
5. Congratulations. Way to make it. 5 years already. Oof. So we got it in and we got it level, don't we, child?
Yeah. David has a little umbrella.
And Bugger here has an umbrella.
He can't hide.
He went away. So that's up, it's level. It's taller than that one. That one I was able to go in further. So eventually I may cut the top off of this. But right now it's a matter of getting this mounted and then going from there. Hey, Belle. Yeah, you're happy.